Viewers, Congress President Rahul Gandhi's candidate needed just 122 votes to win the race for the deputy chairman's post in the Rajya Sabha. But despite the Congress and its friends commanding a majority on paper, it ended up on the losing side. Is Rahul Gandhi, who can't win 122 votes, being unrealistic about winning the hearts of 120 crore Indians before the appointed hour in 2019? Now, here are some hard facts that suggest that Rahul Gandhi's prime ministerial ambition may just remain a pipe dream in 2019. Consider these facts for a while. Pay attention. The Congress and the opposition had a winning advantage of 22 MPs in the Rajya Sabha. Yes, they had a winning advantage of 22 MPs in the Rajya Sabha, and as such, B.K. Hari Prasad, Rahul Gandhi's candidate, should have won by 22 votes. But four potential Gathbandhan parties refused to accept Rahul's candidate. They rejected him. Some abstained, some crossed over to the NDA. Yes, 20 votes failed to accrue to Rahul because he mismanaged the outreach. Arvind Kejriwal's party says Rahul Gandhi didn't even bother to pick up the phone. Now, if you can't win over allies, how will you win over voters from the other side, from the BJP, from the NDA? And in the process, Rahul Gandhi has lost the Congress party the Rajya Sabha deputy chairman post for the first time in 40 years. It's never happened to the Congress. The Congress must be wondering how many more defeats they have to endure before they can even begin to present a challenge, let alone dream of returning to power. Now, this is really how things stack up as we speak, viewers. And it poses an existential dilemma once again for Rahul Gandhi, not to mention, it only underlines that somewhere along the line, Rahul Gandhi has mastered the art of snatching defeat from the jaws of victory. This is what the Prime Minister had to say. He was obviously basking in the afterglow of a triumph ahead of 2019. Unexpected. It came from the blue. He thought he would really have to work hard to pull off this victory against very tall odds in a house where the BJP and the NDA were actually in a minority. But he won handsomely. This is what the Prime Minister said.
सदन की तरफ से और मेरी तरफ से नवनिर्वाचित उपसभापति श्रीमान हरिवंश जी को हृदयपूर्वक बहुत बहुत बधाई देता हूं। हरिवंश जी उस कलम के धनी हैं जिसने अपनी एक विशेष पहचान बनाई है। मैं बीके हरिप्रसाद जी को भी लोकतंत्र की गरिमा के लिए अपने दायित्व को निभाते हुए, और सब कह रहे थे भाई परिणाम पता है लेकिन प्रक्रिया करेंगे, तो काफी नए लोगों की ट्रेनिंग भी हो गई होगी वोट डालने की। मेरी तरफ से उनको बहुत बहुत बधाई, बहुत बहुत शुभकामनाएं।
Now, all of this, of course, raises some serious questions, and we're going to throw them to our esteemed panel this evening. Joining us, Gaurav Bhatia, the national spokesperson of the Bharatiya Janata Party. We're also going to be joined by Pawan Verma, ex-MP and senior leader of the JDU. Amitabh Bagchi, columnist. Clyde Crasto, spokesperson of the NCP. Ashutosh Mishra, senior journalist. Shahzad Poonawala, lawyer. And Suneet Chopra, senior leader of the CPIM. Now, I want to begin first with the most polarizing views. I want to ask, Suneet Chopra is simple question. Mr. Chopra, your party, the left, has thrown its lot in with Rahul Gandhi. But if Rahul Gandhi can't win 125 votes in the Rajya Sabha, how does he plan to impress 122 crore Indians? How do you expect Rahul Gandhi, how do you expect him, Mr. Suneet Chopra, to sway the hearts and minds of 122 crore Indians, if you can hear me? Tell me, sir. Tell me.
Hello? I can't hear.
Can you hear me now? Am I coming across to you? Can you hear me? Okay, why don't you take that question, Ashutosh Mishra? Can't win 122 votes, hopes to somehow convince 122 Indians that he is the man to be Prime Minister in 2019.
Yeah, because most of the people here, many of those who voted against him are his competitors politically in their own states. While the voter out there will judge Rahul Gandhi as a person and will judge Mr. Modi's performance and his failure to
No, what are you
deliver.
saying? I'm not understanding. Please, one second. Let me just ask some direct questions. Look, how does an individual who on paper has the votes end up squandering them? I mean, this is something that you have to first explain to me. Why did the AAP stand down? Why did the BJD not stand with Rahul Gandhi? Is Rahul Gandhi not secular enough for them?
No, the point is that...
No, this is supposed to be a Gathbandhan of secular, like-minded parties.
Aam Aadmi Party is an opponent. And
TMC is not an opponent. No, 1 second. TMC is not an opponent. Left is not an opponent.
TMC and left have already
Sir,
aligned.
आप क्या बोलते हैं?
In Delhi,
can I ask you a question?
PDP
The left is not...
BJP
1 minute. One second. The left is not an opponent. In Kerala, they play carom board with each other.
The point is not that. The point is that if you
what is the point?
The point
you stand with the left in West Bengal. You contest the left in Kerala.
Yes.
You have you have an understanding with the JDS after you come to power, but before that you are fighting with each other. So why can't that understanding extend to the center?
Because this was actually a test of he was testing waters. Who stands where? Who is the Trojan horse?
Sir, 8 months before the election, you're still testing waters.
Like
I thought by now you should have had
Arvind Kejriwal who speak against Modi, but when it comes to the crunch, would want to
he
wait for
supported vice president and president without asking.
Wait out.
Sir,
okay.
Mr. Rahul Shivshankar,
YSRCP, TRS,
you made a factual error. Aam Aadmi Party supported the vice president candidate and the presidential candidate of the Congress Party twice without being asked. But how much insult can they take?
Where is the insult? When you are trying to fight against the common, if you say that you are fighting against Mr. Modi, then
the Aam Aadmi Party says today that Rahul Gandhi is not even acceptable to us. Let me open this out. Let me bring in Clyde Crasto. Clyde Crasto, I want to ask you, before I bring in the Bharatiya Janata Party, before I bring in, the heavyweights, Pawan Verma, I want to first come to you, Mr. Clyde Crasto. Very, very small, direct question. How does an individual who on paper has the numbers end up squandering that advantage? And it's not an advantage of 1 or 2. The maths that we have done suggests that he had a winning advantage of 22 MPs. Clyde Crasto.
Well, Rahul, Rahul, the thing is, the way you're trying to, portray this whole picture that, the BJP came out from nowhere and, got this win and, snatched victory from the jaws of defeat. But if you go back to all the numbers together, the BJP only needed the BJD and the YSR to come onto their sides to get their votes, and they made a very, very smart move by nominating a JDU candidate, because they always knew that the JDU and the BJD are like-minded people. They have the same ideology. So once JDU comes on board, the BJD is obviously going to vote for them. So that was a very calculative move. So I don't think that the way you're saying that this was impossible for them and they just brought this out from nowhere and they had a win. I don't think
that. But like Crasto, I would have accepted that point of view, and Mr. Pawan Verma represents the party that you are talking about, and I want to bring him in. Pawan Verma, when you align with the BJP, the opposition says that you've sold out. You have swallowed the communal poison. When you present a candidate who seems to have the right credentials, they suddenly say, no, no, it's a worthy party, worthy of our support, and they support you. What is exactly, in your opinion, the reason why Rahul Gandhi's candidate couldn't carry the day?
Okay, let me answer you as quickly as I can, just by 3 or 4 points. First of all, Rahul, through you, I want to personally express my sense of happiness that a man like Harivansh, who is a close personal friend and a colleague, today won the election, purely on individual merit as well. He has both the temperament, the qualities, the track record of achievement to deserve this post. Secondly, I want to say that such elections, if they are fought and if a consensus is not agreed upon, require a certain degree of planning. And I can say to you that with the support, of course, of the larger constituent, the BJP, Mr. Nitish Kumar in such situations is a remarkably good commander of operations. There is the first mover advantage. He spoke to Mr. Naveen Patnaik, he spoke to KCR well in advance, the Telugu TRS party, and he helped to reinforce the BJP's efforts and himself take the lead in building the requisite numbers, because I have seen in my own Rajya Sabha election what a hands-on man he is in such situations. Thirdly, I think there is you're absolutely right to say that the opposition needs to introspect. Why in a situation when they could have had the numbers, they ended up by not having them and still insisted on an election? And I think that really points to the fact that the opposition, it's not only about numbers, it's about micro detailing, it's about organizational work, it's about preparatory efforts, it's about having a central coordinating agency that can put the whole act together. And I think there the opposition needs to introspect. So it's ultimately about coalition management. And I think there are lessons to be drawn by all parties, and I may add, including by the BJP.
Okay.
So then why did the JDU member lose just a day before in the PAC election? If the JDU is so good, then why did he lose? And why shouldn't I listen to Mr. Naresh Gujral, who says that actually BJP had thrown in the towel?
Can I come in?
Let him respond. Let him respond. Look, are we going to all speak over each other? It's not a legitimate question. He's asking the legitimate question. Mr. Bhatia, would you like to respond to Ashutosh Mishra? Why did the JDU candidate then lose in the PAC?
I also have a
and
question,
why didn't the BJP put up its own candidate?
Okay. Go ahead.
Yeah. Let me first start by discussing today's election. You know, after the defeat, when we saw that no confidence motion moved by the opposition parties got defeated, today again is a major embarrassment for this Mahathbandhan. And it is very clear that even when you are one of the larger parties, you have to have magnanimity.
Why didn't you feel your own man?
First formulate.
Why didn't you listen to Akali Dal?
Why did the BJP not feel their own candidate?
I am coming to that, Rahul.
Why did the BJP not feel their own candidate? And
will I not be given the time to speak? Can I? Please. This is my opening remark. At least I deserve a minute or two to formulate my point, and then you can ask me questions. Yeah. I was coming to your question also. So we have to understand, even though when BJP is the biggest constituent of this NDA, then also you have to show magnanimity, mutual respect, and you have to also ensure that there is equal representation of other allies. And that is what the BJP did. A panelist just now said it was a smart move. And I agree. Smart parties make smart moves. Duffer parties make duffer moves. Now, if you look at the numbers, we were able to win the confidence of AIA, DMK, BJD and TRS. Whereas Congress did not even reach out to the Aam Aadmi Party
He's responding to you. Let him respond.
Can I just complete my remark? What is the problem with you?
Go ahead. Duffer parties make silly choices.
And they make silly
one
opening
second.
comments
No,
which never end as if they are on Man Ki Baat.
Ashutosh Mishra, don't take it personally. It's not, you're not the duffer and neither is your party. So relax.
No.
Relax, doesn't matter. You're not the duffer and neither are you, neither are you a member of any duffer party. So relax. He's not, in fact, he's not even named any of the parties. So don't get over defensive. Now relax.
But the truth needs no proof.
You know, rhetoric also.
It comes out later.
Rhetoric
When you
also
lie on
has.
national TV,
Okay,
it comes out
gentlemen,
later.
let Mr. Bhatia make his point. I think he's making a couple of points. Let him make it. We'll get the responses in. Yes, Mr. Bhatia, go ahead.
Yeah. So Rahul, this coalition that has been cobbled does not have any cohesiveness. There is no leader to keep them together. They are not there to serve the people. And I would just share with the viewers few statements made by political parties who are dreaming of actually coming out with a formidable opposition. NCP, Mr. Sharad Pawar says Rahul Gandhi not acceptable as the Prime Minister candidate. The Aam Aadmi Party today said that Rahul Gandhi did not even have the courtesy to approach them for support. BJD spokesperson today was making a statement that Congress behaves in a manner which is equivalent to arm twisting and blackmailing, and that is why they did not go with the Congress. And rightly said by Pawan Verma ji that the NDA approached the BJD even before the Congress could. This makes it very clear that there are number of contradictions in the opposition camp, and the NDA is one cohesive force under the leadership of Mr. Narendra Modi ji. And there is no
there are two basic,
between the
deeper
NDA
questions
and
now.
A third front.
Clyde Crasto, this business that the BJP is untouchable, that, you know, parties that are like-minded cannot stand with the BJP today, that impression must have got shattered, because not only has the YSRCP stood with them, not only has the TRS thrown in their lot, two other political parties have abstained. You also have a situation where the Aam Aadmi Party has stood down to the advantage of the NDA. So either they are hypocrites, Mr. Clyde Crasto, or they believe that Mr. Modi's Sabka Saath outlook is acceptable and carries them along.
No.
Can't have it both ways.
Rahul, I just need to clarify one thing very clearly first now. What Gaurav Bhatia said about what Mr. Sharad Pawar quoted about Rahul Gandhi. Nowhere has he spoken on those lines.
Fair enough.
So
let's not get bogged down. You answer my question.
This is misquoted.
Is this now a firm indication that the BJP is acceptable across political fault lines, and only some political parties that are supporting the Congress are doing so because of opposition's sake? Now, let's get to the point. Let's get to the point. If you guys are the real, secular parties, what are about secularists doing supporting the NDA?
Clarification. If you want me to only talk to what you are saying, then it doesn't work that way, my friend. I have to clarify and I'll come to your point.
Okay. Not a rally. Now come to the point. Come to the point.
Yeah, so I will. Yeah, so give me a chance to come to the point. The point here is, if you're talking about YSR, you were talking about TDP. All these guys have been always playing with the BJP. They're playing games with them because they want their own things to be done.
You now, supported the NC, no confidence motion of the TDP.
Very clearly, why didn't they put the BJP candidate?
Mr. Mishra,
and I'll tell you why they didn't put the BJP candidate. Because one of the simple examples that I can give.
Let's not speak over each other, gentlemen. Please. I'll come to you. Everyone will get a space.
BJP candidate. They came and they brought in the JDU so that they know the BJD.
So everyone is an opportunist. Then, sir, why should the voter believe in the Mahagathbandhan if it's filled with opportunists? How do I get a sense of security? Let me go across to Pawan Verma for 30 seconds on this, if you don't mind. 30 seconds. Look, I can't understand this, Mr. Verma. I am told that those political parties that shared a stage, preened in front of the cameras a few months ago in Karnataka, well, none of them is firm on what they believe, because at the first sign they will bolt because they're opportunists. This is the sort of narrative we are getting. Now, if that is the case, why should I as a voter vote for the Mahagathbandhan? Because all it establishes in my mind is that it is susceptible to a great deal of instability.
Okay, let me sum up my response to you. An exceptionally good candidate around whom a consensus could be built won an election because the election was managed with the right degree of cohesion, efficiency, concentration and management, and was planned in advance. Whereas on the side of the opposition, while they could have got the numbers, they could not get it, not because every party is opportunist. I don't want to make this broad brush statements in the political spectrum of today. You know, within the BJP camp, the Shiv Sena and TDP are directly attacking the BJP. Does that make them opportunists? No. The point is that coalition management, Rahul, is an art. And it's not as if the BJP has learned the art fully. As part of coalition dharma, you have to respect allies. In this case, we worked well together. And as I said, Nitish Kumar is a very significant leader in such situation. But the point I am really making is the opposition must introspect. There is no point pointing fingers. It must introspect on the fact that there was not the requisite degree of application of mind, advanced planning and floor management and the reaching out to parties that could make a difference.
Well, if you allow me, Mr. Verma, I suppose you can't stand in judgment of other political parties and label anyone opportunistic, because many people will say that JDU has excelled in opportunism also. I mean, there are enough people on the other side, the RJD, even the Congress would say the same. So I understand why you might be constrained.
Rahul,
I understand why you might be constrained.
Let me just say that in 30 seconds. Now, let me say that in 10 seconds. I feel that you are entirely entitled to your point of view, while I may have mine.
Sure.
But I will not say that any party that opposes another party or does not go along in a particular election with one party is opportunist. I don't think these broad brush judgments should be made.
Okay. Let me bring in Suneet Chopra.
Okay.
I'll come to you. Let me bring in Suneet Chopra. Suneet Chopra, is this Mahagathbandhan only an optical illusion to create some sort of hype going into the 2019 elections that the NDA is vulnerable? That's all I want to ask you. Is it an optical illusion?
Yeah. There are three elements that come up in the Rajya Sabha election. The first element is that where the BJP was able to get through winning candidates with total vote and total agreement, today the vote has broken into half, 125 versus 105. That's one thing. In other words, the consensus has gone down. The second thing is that the BJP was unable to put forward a BJP candidate in the broken consensus.
Good point.
So in
now that's
reality,
the good point.
As we say in a good Hindustani proverb,
I'd like to come in before that.
Begani shadi mein Abdullah Diwana.
ऐसा हुआ Mr. Bhatia, Begani shadi mein Abdullah Diwana.
Bilkul.
Why couldn't you put your own man?
Bilkul.
The Congress has been doing it for 40 years.
Rahul,
And
Begani, yes, let me respond. Yeah, please allow me to respond now.
Begani shadi mein Abdullah Diwana. Because
was
the day
seen,
before that, they lost their face in Tamil Nadu. They tried their best. That Karunanidhi
should
not be buried there.
Let him respond to you.
Rahul, only if you
made
allow
a
me
sharp,
to speak.
The same way.
Okay, you made a sharp, sarcastic intervention which might tickle the BJP. Let him at least respond. Go ahead.
Yeah.
Please.
Rahul, Begani Shadi mein Abdullah Diwana, we all saw when there were by-elections in Phulpur and Gorakhpur, and Congress forfeited its deposit, were seen distributing sweets. Same goes for the left. But let me come to the question that has been raised by Sunit Chopra ji. Often we have seen they make the charge against the BJP that we do not accommodate our allies. They say we are arrogant. Please, Sunit ji, can I make my point and I'm answering your question? Please be patient enough to listen to my reply first.
Ji.
So what do we hear from the opposition parties, Rahul? That we are not accommodating our allies, we are arrogant. Today is a perfect example where we saw that here is a candidate who belongs to the NDA should be given a chance to hold this.
So you were being generous.
We all came together as one team and one unit.
So you were being generous.
Rather, I would say, why should we not be asking the Congress?
So you were being charitable to the JDU, showing them a couple of favors. I don't think Pawan Verma will like that. That smacks of a little bit of... No, you're being a little condescending.
To the Congress.
किसी और को भी थोड़ा chance दे देते हैं.
Congress say that please, we will accommodate another ally and we will field the candidate.
No, don't be so condescending to the JDU.
Hungry,
who was just saying that BJP should listen to its allies.
Rahul, whatever the contest might be, they want to field their own candidate. The BJP could rise to the occasion and respect the allies.
Shiromani Akali Dal candidate did not feel the magnanimity of the BJP, but the JDU has benefited from the munificence of the BJP. Sir, how would you respond to this? Mr. Pawan Verma, you got a couple of crumbs, you should be happy. Now you should really stick with them till 2019.
No, I think that my good friend Gaurav, I'm sure I'll give him the benefit of doubt, didn't mean it in that way. That in terms
now you're being magnanimous.
Gratuitous beneficence.
Now you're being magnanimous.
Or condescending or patronizing that they gave us a seat. Listen, I'll be very frank with you. Atalji coined this phrase coalition dharma. It means respect for all your allies in the sense of being equals. So it is not charity being given to the JDU, nor to any other ally that forms a part of any constituency in a Gathbandhan.
Absolutely.
And I think that is the spirit in which coalitions hold together.
And Mr. Verma has been giving...
No, but let me then ask a counter question. Siddharth Poonawalla, let me ask you. Had the BJP fielded its own candidate, do you think it wouldn't have won? Come on, let's call a spade a spade.
Rahul, first
the BJP ran away from a contest.
Rahul, first of all, when did an act of large-heartedness become something that we criticize in Indian democracy? Point number one.
Well, when Rahul Gandhi came running across to hug the Prime Minister, you called it a Jumla.
No,
that was also large heart. That was only heart.
Because he followed it up with a wink and that gave away the game. But let me also say that if the BJP played smart and gave somebody like a Nitish Kumar who has the stature to get people who may perhaps not have the best...
Smart as in... Would they have been foolish had they presented their own candidate? Now explain. Why would they have been foolish?
If you just give me 20 seconds. I understand I'm the youngest on the panel, but I have worked in Rajya Sabha as the OSD of the Parliamentary Affairs.
I
do have some experience under my belt and I have seen 2 vice president and 1 president election. So if you just give me some amount of respect, then I can say my points. So my point is that if the Congress, instead of fielding its own candidate and being big brother, would have said, let us have an ally who can probably reach out to those who are not comfortable with us, those who may probably, be broken from the BJP's rank allies and come towards us. I think that would have been a smart strategy, and if the BJP has done that, there's nothing wrong in it, and they have showed large-heartedness, point number 1. Point number 2, I just want to ask you that now Mr. Sunit Chopra's statement seems that they are taking the moral victory out of this, that oh, we came up to 105, but that really doesn't matter. The point is that you had the numbers to begin with, you didn't convert them. And here is the largest point that I want to make. This clearly shows the difference between a Kamdar and a Namdar. A Kamdar understands how to get his strategies going, and a Namdar who has everything going for himself doesn't even, Nitish Kumarji's people reached out to Aam Aadmi Party people. That's what the Aam Aadmi Party people have told me. Now, they refused to support JDU candidate, that's fine. Okay. But they reached out to him. But Rahul Gandhi didn't reach out to Arvind Kejriwal.
So you're saying, if I were to extend your logic, you're saying that Rahul Gandhi still believes that the very fact that he is a Gandhi is good enough.
He takes people for granted.
He takes people for granted. Is that a fact? Is that a fact like Crasto? Is that a fact, Mr. Chopra?
That's not true.
It's not true. Then tell me, sir. Then tell me.
That's not true.
The
reality is that a number of people were proposed, but they dropped out for whatever reason. And it was noted that ultimately, even if there is polarization in the Rajya Sabha, the defeat is of the BJP because it did not get a common candidate as it wanted.
Okay, so let me ask you, Mr. Pawan Verma,
and now
does
it was
the
JDU
loss
who had defeated the
add
BJP
a
in
embarrassing
Bihar that came in?
Okay, does the loss add an embarrassing broken arrow to Rahul Gandhi's growing quiver full of defeats?
Are you asking me?
See,
Yes.
there are many opposition parties.
I'm asking you
Rahul Gandhi's party
because
is
you
the
happen
biggest,
to be
that's
somebody
about it.
who has shown that you're not completely today, you're not completely today partisan.
No,
No, I know.
I'll say honestly to you.
The point
First
is,
of all, we are absolutely. Can I speak or is somebody else speaking?
No, you're speaking. Go ahead.
Question is asked
he's
to
held
me.
back. Yeah.
no, do.
In my view, the lesson or takeaway from today's election, and such elections happen very often as part of the normal unfolding of parliamentary practice. The lesson to be drawn is that perhaps the opposition could have coordinated its strategy better. There are occasions when they have.
So this is only about strategy. This is not about Rahul Gandhi.
And they are.
Is that what you're telling me? Is that what you're telling me?
No, I think I'm certainly. I'm saying that no coalition, whether on the BJP side or on the Congress or the UPA side, is about only one individual.
Okay, so we are going to come back right after this. In 2 minutes, we come back to the big question that I'm going to pose to this panel and to the viewer. And I hope to have your responses on Twitter. Stay engaged with us. Is Rahul Gandhi the problem here, or did he just get it wrong? Was the strategy wrong? We come back to that. Don't go away. Welcome back, viewers. Rahul Gandhi's candidate needed just 122 votes to win the race for the deputy chairman's post in the Rajya Sabha, but despite the Congress and its friends commanding a majority on paper, it ended up on the losing side. Is the problem now with Rahul Gandhi squarely? Has he been exposed and an individual who can't rally the forces and present a challenge to Mr. Modi? Is Rahul Gandhi, who can't win 122 votes, being unrealistic about winning the hearts of 120 crore Indians? Straight question. I have with me Mr. Bhatia of the Bharatiya Janata Party, the national spokesperson of the party, as also, of course, the experienced Sunit Chopra, senior leader of the CPIM. Does the problem lie with Rahul Gandhi and his lack of personability, charisma, and obvious inability to inspire not just his allies, but in election after election, the voters? Or is it the fact, Mr. Chopra, that at some level or the other, he is prematurely dreaming about becoming the Prime Minister?
No. This whole thing is not based on individuals. It's based on strategies. And the strategy was to build an opposition to the BJP rather than agree with them on a candidate. Now, when you build an opposition like that, breaking away from the BJP is going to be more difficult. And, of course, the death of Karunanidhi confused the issue, and the whole burial drama that the BJP and AIADMK created in Tamil Nadu must have led to some confusion also. But the main thing is, they knew that for the BJP, putting forward somebody at this time without consensus was a loss, political loss in the first place. And in the second place, the necessity of the JDU which has defeated them in Bihar before this and is likely to defeat them in 2019, is going to be a double whammy.
Okay.
So that aspect should not be ignored.
Okay, double whammy, as in the English phrase, double whammy. Okay. Mr. Bhatia, it's not about the man, it's about the strategy. You got the strategy right, you won. Had you put your own man, you would have lost.
Rahul, it's very clear. It's also about the leadership that Mr. Narendra Modi ji provides. It's also about cohesiveness. It's also about strategy. And the NDA has won the battle. And there is a reason, because whether it is the entire country and the citizenry of our country, or whether it is the opposition camp, nobody takes Rahul Gandhi seriously. His leadership does not inspire confidence. And let me give you some examples, like the PDP. You know, there was a situation, we have just parted ways. PDP also did not vote for the UPA candidate, rather they abstained from voting. Whereas we were successful in winning over the AIA DMK, the BJD, the TRS, because we reached out to them, because we wanted to work with them. Now, this kind of leadership is completely missing in the opposition camp. And I would like to ask the Congress, they say that why did we field a candidate from another party? Why couldn't the Congress show that large-heartedness and magnanimity to actually request a party from their alliance that you field a candidate? It's because Congress doesn't want to leave anything for any other ally. And that is why this trust deficit in the opposition camp. The anti-Modi slogan will not work, neither in this election nor in the 2019 election, because you do not have any agenda for the common man. The BJP works for the people. We have a vision for the country, and the opposition's only plank is bash Modi, anti-Modi slogans, spew venom, and this is not going to work in our democracy.
Okay, very quick response from you, Mr. Chopra. Very quick response. The Congress could have been equally magnanimous, but Rahul Gandhi wanted to turn this into an opportunity to present himself as the sole leader of the Mahagathbandhan, and he's got a rude awakening. Quick response.
All this shows you the anarchy you have thrust into the country is something the people don't want. So you had to retreat in the Rajya Sabha.
Is that when you start opposing the NRC exercise being done under the supervision
you chose
of
an
the
ally
Supreme Court,
who had defeated
when
you
you
just
start
before
to inject
and is likely to
politics
defeat
into
you in
NRC
2019
that is
also.
anarchy.
Okay, we're going to move on. We're going to move on. Gentlemen, the last word hasn't been said, but there is one important takeaway from all of this, that if the Mahagathbandhan is thinking that 2019 is going to be a cakewalk, they'll have to think again. Because there are some smart individuals on the other side who are willing and quite capable of outthinking them. This will only now present to them the enormity of the task ahead, and perhaps also define to Rahul Gandhi's own limitations and his own lack of acceptability. But most importantly, if the Mahagathbandhan can't stick together in a house where they need 122 votes, then perhaps we as voters have to think if they can stick together when they're soliciting the votes, or at least the support of 120 crore Indians. Is the Mahagathbandhan the alternative, or is it really a chimera? We have to think this through. Voters, you only have 8 months. You only have 8 months. But we move on. We move on